Okay, hey everybody, my name is Ryan and welcome to the Gamers Podcast. So just to let you guys know, there is a little bit of echo because of my friend's mic, but yeah. So without further ado, welcome to the Gamers Podcast and thank you for checking it out. And before we get started, on the right, I am the yellow bird, and on the left, that's Brandon, my buddy Brandon, because he used to wear glasses. So, okay. Check you guys later. Bye-bye. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode... Oh, shit. Welcome to episode... something of the Gamers Podcast. It will be in the title, so don't judge. Okay.
Episode... Wait, hang on. I'll look it up for you.
Okay, you do that. So, today I actually have my longtime friend, very, very old friend, Brandon, with me.
How's it going?
And for those of you who do not know, Brandon was actually, he appeared in one video of mine, and he did a Let's Play on the Impossible game, and yeah.
That must have been like 2 years ago now? Year and a half, 2 years ago now?
I would say more like over a year and a half.
Because that was in December of 2014, so yeah, that's almost been 2 years ago now. That was a long time ago.
That was long, yeah, exactly.
I get much louder when I play that game now. Also, you don't have a video counter, so I actually have no idea what episode this is.
What? It's in the title.
In the title.
It's like, of my last podcast, I always put the Gamers Podcast, EP.
Oh, okay, now I know what I'm looking for, okay.
Yeah.
The Gamers Podcast. Why is this taking forever to find?
Yeah.
It's taking forever to find. You know what? It'll be in the comment. It'll be in the title.
Exactly, yeah, I will look that up later. So, Brandon, how you been, man? Like, I haven't talked to you in quite some time.
I've been good. You know what? I've been good. Things are looking pretty good in Trail. About, what is it now? It's June. So about 6-ish months ago, I started training at Pride Gym here.
Wow. Wow.
Pride Gym, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and yeah, it's been going really good. I'm not sure if you remember about the season of The Ultimate Fighter where it was Team GSP versus Team Kozchek.
Yeah, I remember that.
The guy that won, Cody McKenzie.
I don't remember him, though.
Yeah, well, this is one of his gyms. He trained in Spokane, Washington, and he trained here. I actually have videos of him cornering some of the fighters when Glenn put on fight cards here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's been cool. It's been a really cool experience. Glenn's a really nice guy, and he kind of wants me to fight in October.
Oh, are you planning on fighting competitively?
Yeah, I did a tournament in March, and I picked up 2 silvers. So Glenn was like, "Yeah, sure, let's just go for it."
Nice. Are you going by belts in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff?
Yeah, I'm about to get my first stripe on my white belt. I probably would have gotten it sooner, but I was away around the time that he was wanting to hand out stripes. And then when I got back, we were doing nothing but nogi because during the summer we do just nogi, like submission wrestling.
Yeah.
So back in the fall, so probably around September, I'll probably be getting stripes on my white belt.
Oh, so okay, wow. Well, you can probably beat me now. So I remember when we used to spar. That was fun.
Way back when.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, when we used to spar, that was so funny. Oh, we were so bad.
So bad.
I know. I mean, I could throw a decent leg kick, but that was pretty.
You could throw a leg kick, and you had a really good overhand.
Yeah, that was funny. Did I ever hit you with that? I don't think I did.
I think there was one incident where you were wearing one of the Thai pads and you just like swung it at me and it like clipped me in the eyebrow. And then the next thing I remember is like you were like lifting me with one hand and trying to like throw me, and I tripped, and then you just landed in crucifix and just started beating the fuck out of me.
Okay, I remember this one moment so perfectly. Oh, sweet. I forgot that you were into MMA. Yes, we can talk about MMA. Okay, so anyways,
Perfect, new topic.
yeah, exactly. So I remember we were sparring, right? And I don't know if you tried to clinch me. I think you did. Yeah. So you tried to clinch me,
Ah,
and there's an echo.
yeah, I hear it too.
Yeah, so you. Oh fuck, man! It's hard to talk with the fucking echo.
Hang on. How is it now?
Hello. Hello. It's the same.
Okay, then I have no idea.
How the hell do we do this? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna try and just get through it. Okay, so you clinched me, and then I was kind of like we were pushing on each other, right? Like we're trying to. I don't know what we were exactly trying to do, but then I overpowered you, and just by a little bit, and I was trying to make you step back on one of your legs, and then I tripped you. Yeah, then I tripped you. I flung you to the ground, and then I ran at you and started getting ground and pound. That was so funny.
Yeah, you like stacked me, and I was just like, "What the fuck's
Yeah,
going on?"
yeah. You're like, wait. And then I'm like, what? You're like, dude, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that a lot.
Uh,
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
it was really cool because I went down to Tiger Bomb for my tournaments. I did Sancho, which is a Chinese form of kickboxing that has takedowns, and I did Li Tai, which is basically Muay Thai but like really watered down. But I really didn't like doing Li Tai. I only had one memorable moment from that, and that was being able to head kick, like land a clean head kick on one of my training partners because he unfortunately was in the same weight division as me. He ended up winning by a few points because he was landing nothing but knees because he didn't want to stand like he didn't want me to land any more kicks because I like was landing a lot in the previous fight. But I landed a clean head kick on him, and I was really proud of that because he's 6'5", right?
Oh wow.
And it was just like there was a moment where him and I just both stopped striking. We were staring at each other, and I was like, I just gotta do something out of fucking desperation, and I just used my flexibility, and I just wound up and kicked him, and it landed, and you just hear the crowd go, "Oh!"
Oh man, that was.
And I was talking to him afterwards. I was like, "Did you hear the crowd's reaction?" He's like, "No." I was like, "What do you mean no?" He's like, "All I heard was your foot hitting me in the face."
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of MMA news, Brock Lesnar is coming back for UFC 200.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. So this is kind of what's going down with Brock Lesnar. He is still under contract with WWE.
Yeah.
And then WWE and UFC contacted, or I think UFC contacted them and asked because Conor McGregor got himself kicked out of UFC 200.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I mean I like Conor McGregor, and I kind of feel bad for the guy because like he's just doing so much press when he needs to prepare for a fight. Like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that like, oh Brandon, oh what you do is easy. No, it's not easy.
It really isn't. Like, I totally get where he's coming from. Like, it's not that I don't like Conor because I do like Conor. I think he's a wonderful fighter, and I really do like him. I just happen to like Nate Diaz more. I've been a fan of Nate Diaz longer than Conor. Conor's a great fighter. The only thing that's happened with Conor is that Conor has been exposed. Before he seemed unbeatable. Like, he was just dropping guys like nothing. And then he goes up to 170, which is something that a lot of fighters won't do. They won't just like, yeah, I could totally go and fight someone out of a higher weight division because a lot of guys are scared of doing that. Conor was like, no, I'll do it. And he unfortunately got clipped, and he got taken, and he went to try and take Nate down. Nate gained advantage, and he choked him out. We now realize that Conor's jiu-jitsu isn't as strong as his striking. Is that a hindrance on his career? At this point, a little bit, but not really, because it's something that he can improve because he is a brown belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. At this level where he's at, he's a champion in the 145-pound division. He wants to fight the champion at 155, and it's just nothing but he has to keep learning. Like it's nothing but a learning game at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so so Lesnar versus Mark Hunt. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I was curious to see who they'd put him against.
I'm honestly not surprised, Mark Hunt, because have you ever heard of a term called plateauing?
yes,
It's kind of like you get to your highest, and then as soon as and then you kind of start to break a little bit.
yeah, that yeah,
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened when Lesnar lost the title, and then he's got like that something itis disease or whatever,
yeah.
and he lost to Overeem, and then I think he lost to I think that was his last. Yeah, that was his last fight, and
Yeah,
then,
that was his last fight in 2011.
yeah, and and actually, so realistically, Lesnar and Mark Hunt are actually the same caliber of fighter because of that reason alone. Because I'm pretty sure because Mark Hunt, I've seen that guy lose more than I have him win in recent years.
In recent years, yes, but if you're talking recently, like this past year, Mark Hunt has been dropping guys like flies.
Okay, well then I kind of got my money on Mark Hunt then.
It's a tricky one for me. Like excuse me, the easy pick is definitely Mark Hunt, just because Brock hasn't been in it since 2011, and everyone's like, "Oh, what about the ring rust? What about the ring rust?" And it's like, well, he has still been training. He just hasn't been competing in mixed martial arts. He's been competing, if you will, in professional wrestling. He's been working for Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's like being like, oh yeah, no, he's totally ready, because it's a completely different atmosphere. Because in pro wrestling, you occasionally get clipped, whereas in UFC, it's all about getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if he wants to secure the win off the initial glove touch, he'll try and, like, if he does want to stand, maybe land like a quick combination and then immediately take him down and just work jiu-jitsu. That's his game plan right there. He should take Mark down, and he should try and work the ground and pound, go for the submission, because if he tries to stand with him, he could be going to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree because Brock Lesnar has always been like when he was in his quote unquote prime.
Yeah.
He like what did he do again? Right? I think I watched him fight Heath Herring. Yeah, it was Heath Herring.
Herring.
In the first round, he was just on top of him, would not let him get up, and he did the same thing with Frank Mir until he got submitted.
And he did the same thing with Shane Carwin in the second round. He got annihilated in the first round, but
yeah, honestly, man, I kind of feel like that they should have stopped it.
they honestly should have.
They should have. Like, he wasn't defending himself, so yeah. And I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe sure he was composed, but if you don't defend yourself, like, they got to stop the fight.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, the ref's job is to take care of, like, to make sure your safety, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, now that you're a fighter, I am very interested in actually asking you about some serious questions that I have about MMA. Weight cutting. First of all, what weight do you fight at, and how hard it is to actually get there?
So the division I will be fighting in, because I haven't actually made my amateur debut yet, the weight I will be fighting it will be 155 pounds.
Okay.
Just due to the fact that I'm only 5'11", and I could, in theory, fight at 170, but I just don't have the strength, in my opinion, to compete with guys at 170 who do constantly work for that.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as it is to try and get to that weight, it's different from fighter to fighter. For me, I have like 5-6 months before my fight, so I have the time to cut the weight naturally before I actually have to do any of the sauna work or any of the sweatsuits or anything like that. But there are guys who try and push it and try and wait until 10 weeks out of their fight and try and cut 30, 40 pounds, and it's just really unhealthy. It all depends on what your body can take, because like I know that if I slowly work at it, I can get down to like 160, 165, like 4 weeks out before my fight, and then just cut that 10 pounds the remaining month and work at that. That way I can healthily get my body down to that and then rehydrate and be ready to go on fight day. I don't like the idea of trying to push it and trying to wait the period and then trying to cut it all because one, it will slowly deteriorate your body over time and it'll make you harder to regain to that weight or to come back to that weight. And two, there's so many negative side effects as far as like internal organ functioning goes if you try to do that because when you get that close to the fight, you're doing nothing but just constant dehydration and starvation, and like that's horrible on your kidneys, on your liver. It's just a bad time. It's easier to just take the time, do the diet, cut it out over time, and kind of relax when it comes to fight day.
Yeah, because actually a lot of people were saying, like, I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Yeah, me too. He one day he said that, did you see, like, Connor versus Chad Mendes? Because, like, he said that he looked like a fucking skeleton.
He did. Like, if you look at the pictures, but that's actually a great example right there. If you look at the picture difference between Connor when he weighed in against Chad Mendes, or even when he weighed in against Jose Aldo, and then when you look at Connor when he weighed in at the fight against Nate Diaz, it's like you're looking at two different fighters, and that's exactly what I'm talking about with this whole weight cutting thing. Like Connor, he usually walks around at 170, so in 10 weeks he'll cut from 170 to 145 in an unhealthy manner too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he had did that over the course of a few months, and that way he made his walking around weight like maybe 160, maybe 155, that would make more sense to try and cut to that. Like if he actually had to fight Frankie Edgar, like he's going to after the Edgar and Aldo fight, because I think Edgar is going to win that one, but that's another story. If he, if and when Edgar wins and he has to defend the title against Edgar, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Because like Edgar, if he wanted to, could fight 135. Because Edgar only has to cut 5 pounds to make 145. Connor has to cut 30. When you look at body conditioning, that's a whole nother ballgame. That's why Edgar can go 100% all 5 rounds and not get tired.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying something because he wrestles too. Like he wrestles, he throws hands, he throws kicks, and he'll wall wrestle, and he'll still be fine to go. And he's just a machine. He's just a workhorse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think guys need to try and properly diet and get their weight down closer to what they fight at. That way they can do it safer. Because the state of California has actually banned pre-fight dehydration.
Oh, yeah?
Like, one of the first steps they were trying to do is they started banning IVing to rehydrate. That way it would stop fighters from unhealthily cutting too much weight.
Oh, yeah?
As there was, like, they were so dehydrated they had to use an IV to rehydrate. Like, it was getting to that point.
Yeah.
So they banned that. And now the state of California has just completely banned pre-fight weight cutting involving saunas or any kind of dehydration. So they're now actually having, if they fight in California, they have to slowly work the weight down. And I think this is a great idea because it's going to open up a lot of fighters to fighting closer to their natural weight or getting their weight down to what they fight at. I personally think that MMA, even though there's already a handful of divisions right now, I think eventually, because MMA is still a growing sport, I think that in the near future we could see MMA turning into like what boxing was doing, like with the number of weight divisions. Because if you look at boxing, there's like a super, a middle, a light, and like a heavy for every single weight division. Like it's ridiculous. I don't think it'll be if they do that, it'd be anytime soon. But it would be a nice touch to see. But I think for the meantime, it will just be trying to get fighters to either fight closer to their natural weights or get their natural weight closer to what they fight at.
Yeah, because because I remember. Again, with the Joe Rogan podcast thing, I remember Misha Tate was on, and Joe Rogan was just talking about, like, oh my god, like, so many fighters are, like, his exact words were, so many fighters are fighting with a compromised body.
They are.
Yeah, they truly are. Like, I don't even understand why, like, Connor, like, he was fighting at 145,
Yep.
right? Yeah. And he won the title in 145, but that doesn't even seem like his weight.
Honestly, Connor is a lightweight.
Yeah, I think so. I think he should
Connor's a
cut to
lightweight fighter.
lightweight.
when Connor fought in the UK, he held the title in the featherweight division and the lightweight division. But I honestly think he should be fighting at lightweight. I think he should start low on the top 10 list. If he does decide to move up, I think he should vacate the 145 title if he decides to move up, and he should work his way and try his best. Maybe not even top 10. Maybe like see his pool in like the top 15.
Yeah.
That way we can see how his chin reacts, because like even though I like Nate more, in the first round he was fucking Nate up. Like he was landing some good shots.
Exactly.
Granted, Nate only had 10 days notice and had no sparring. Like he was on a cruise ship when he got called.
Yeah.
So he was just like going in there dry. But he was fucking Nate up.
Mm-hmm.
Nate's also a tough guy to knock out. Like I'm pretty sure the only person I think he's been knocked out with a head kick.
Yeah, and it was a fucking brutal one too.
By Josh Thompson, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So like he's a hard guy to put down. He was stunning him, but Nate was walking it off, right? And then you see Nate turn up the heat, and Nate isn't necessarily like a power striker. He's more of a volume striker. Like he has some heavy power shots, but it's more in volume that he does it. Like him and Nick do that thing where they'll throw like 50% shots and then randomly just crank out like 2 100 strikes just to daze them.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was doing that, it was effective. I want to see how Connor's chin would be tested at 155. It would be a really interesting thing to see. Just because it will give him time to not only get used to that division again, which I think he would excel at, it would give him time to work on his jiu-jitsu. And when you look at the current champ right now, Rafael dos Anjos, it's like you have to have jiu-jitsu with that, because he's lethal on foot. He showed that by TKOing Cowboy in the first.
I know. I saw that fight. I was so disappointed. Man.
Yeah, I thought Cowboy was going to do a lot better, but he wasn't in it. And now he's Dos Anjos is going to be fighting Eddie Alvarez.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually watched a lot of Alvarez's fights in the day.
Yeah. He's a good wrestler. He's a good scrapper. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, he made quite a few appearances on Bully Beatdown. So,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He made like, what, 2 or 3 appearances? Yeah.
Yeah. So but Connor, I mean, I really like Connor as a fighter. I love his style. He's got a really good style.
That's what I like it, because he found a nice way to blend like a Taekwondo-esque style with his boxing background.
Yeah, exactly.
Like honestly, like I like Connor, but all the things you see him doing, I think it's just smoke and mirrors. I think it's nothing but illusions so he can hide that left hand. It's every strike he throws is just to make sure he finds a home for that left straight. But he's a good fighter. He's smart, and he can sell fights. And I think that's why the UFC was using him for so many promos.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with what he's saying. He should be getting back into the gym and just training. I think that's why I'm glad that he's not on Dana's lap anymore, and he's like focusing on his training for 202.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes you wonder. I mean, and here's another theory. Here's my theory about why Connor actually does fight at 145. Because the dude is actually, in some ways, bigger than some of the guys in the division, and that's why he keeps laying them out with that left hand.
Oh, absolutely. Like
because
that's
because he's
like
got that power behind it.
Like I walk around like 190-ish, maybe like the high 180s.
And you're cutting to a lightweight?
And I'm cutting the lightweight. I can do it healthily, so that's why I do it. But but it's also because of the strength thing, right? Like I know that I could, if I really needed to, fight at 170. Like if it was like I get my passport and I'm able to go into the States, and they get a call and they're like, hey, a dude just fell out of this fight. We have a guy here at 175 catch weight, and we really need a guy to fight him. I could step up and do that and probably do all right. But I do like the idea of fighting at 155 more, just because of my height, and I feel like I would excel more in that division.
I think you would too. I think because it's been a while since I've seen you in person, but I know your reach. And your reach would probably fare better in lightweight.
Oh, much better. Like my leg span in 170 would be fine, but it's my arm span that I'd be more worried about.
Yeah, exactly, because like you would have such a tough time like finding your range against a lot of the lengthier fighters.
Well, like even the guys that are shorter, like look at like, this is a bad example because I'm first time amateur and he's the pro champ. But look at Robbie Lawler. Like Robbie Lawler's only 6 foot, but look at his fucking arm span. Like it's almost as long as Rory McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
And then you look at like one of my old trading partners, Keenan Keller. Keenan Keller's 6'5", and he fucking fights in middle or in fucking welterweight. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but 6 feet, like, I'm pretty sure that's like the average height for welterweight, isn't it?
6 foot or 6'1" is the average height for welterweight,
Oh yeah.
and then around 5'10" is the average height for lightweight.
I know. It's just like I feel like if a guy your size could fights at 170, I feel like what happened to Daniel Cormier in the Jones fight, it may happen to you.
Yeah, that's
Because
the factor that I was taking into account.
yeah, because he was having a really tough time finding his range. Of course, he was doing a good job because he would clinch and then throw short uppercuts.
Mm-hmm.
And but Jones was always keeping him at bay with the oblique kick.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh yeah. Let me ask you something about rules and regulations. Do you think that the oblique kick and the 12-6 elbow should be banned?
Okay, so those are two different opinions of mine. So I started training in Muay Thai, and the oblique kick is actually a Thai kick. It's in traditional Muay Thai, it's used as an inside teep. Like if you're in like clinch range, but you want them to get away, they do that. Personally, like I do it like on the bag and everything, just to practice it. But I wouldn't ever use it in sparring or in striking. Like maybe if I'm sparring Rylan or something, because Rylan throws it too, I would do it just because him and I are dicking around. But I wouldn't ever do it in a fight just because of the risk of blowing out someone's knee. Because even though it is intended for the thigh, when you straight kick the thigh, if it's a bent knee, it can still blow out the knee. And that can shorten someone's career indefinitely. So I believe that the oblique kick shouldn't be, not necessarily banned, but there should be like some like looking into it. Just because like it I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. As far as the noon to 6 elbow goes, I think that's the stupidest fucking rule they could have made.
Yeah, me too.
The reason why the noon to 6 elbow is banned is because when they were making the rules for the UFC and MMA to begin with, they saw a video of a karate guy breaking bricks and breaking ice blocks with this noon to 6 elbow. Even though they were pre-broken things, like you can't actually break 9 bricks, like 9 solid bricks with a noon to 6 elbow. Any video on YouTube showing you like solid bricks and some hick in fucking Alabama or anything can show you that. Apologies to anyone watching this that might be from Alabama. The noon to 6 elbow, it's the stupidest fucking rule because it's literally ceiling to floor. That's the only elbow you can't throw. If I have top mount, I can slam you in the side of the head with elbow style hooks, or I can swing. Like, if I put my hand on the back of my head and swing long ways, I can cut you right across the face. But if I go straight up and down, I get disqualified.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
the stupidest fucking rule, because if I pull guard, which I would never do, because every time we pull guard, God kills a kitten, learn how to fucking wrestle. If I were to land in guard and I got a dude in a triangle choke, and he wasn't tapping, of course, being in pro, so you could throw elbows, and I move to the side to lock in the choke more, and I start throwing straight up and down elbows, I won't get disqualified, one, because it's not ceiling to floor, so it's not noon to 6, but I'm seriously fucking this dude up. It's literally the stupidest rule, because you can do that exact elbow in other situations, just not in top mount because it's the ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, oblique kick on the fence, noon to 6 elbow, stupid fucking rule.
Yeah.
If you're allowed elbows, period, you should be allowed the noon to 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a stupid rule. God damn the echo, man.
I wonder if it's because my... Hang on.
Okay, yeah, please try and fix something.
How's that?
Testing, testing, testing.
Hello?
Hi. Hey, that seems pretty good.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Oh, technical difficulties, people.
Hello?
Hi. Hello?
Hello?
Brandon? Buddy boy?
Ryan?
Yes? I'm here, babe. Buddy, where are ya? Okay.
Okay, well, I can't hear you. I'm
Okay.
not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Fuck. You can't even hear me. This is so stupid. What's he saying? Why is he typing to me if I can fucking hear him? God damn it, Brandon. Okay. Okay, well, he's didn't call me back. Luckily, you guys can't see this. Yellow.
Alright, hello?
Hi. Hello? Hi. Hi, hello? Hi, horse. Hello? Babe? Brandon? Testing. What the fuck? If this goes on for too long, then what the hell? And guys, the cutoff there because we ran into some technical difficulties, but thank you all for watching the podcast, and peace out. Cue the badass music if I put it in. Probably won't put it in.